How long you been doing this now?
2 years, Jeff. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Joy Lingerie, and I have with us Jeff Battista. He is one half of a team called the Battista Brothers. You may know his brother, Jerry Battista. We've had him on here before, and I'd like to introduce him, and we'll be getting to his interview in just a few minutes. I'd like to give a shout out to Luscious Moss Studio. Chad Quist owns that studio, and he is my producer for my recordings. And he has a very collaborative, creative environment set up for. He started out with drummers and guitarists, and now he is producing other things. So if you have any needs, you can find him on Facebook under Chad Quist or Luscious Moss Studio. And once again, he's out of Edgewood, Washington. With that, we'll start. Hello, Jeff.
Hello, Joy.
So you asked me a question about how long I've been doing this. 2 years.
Nice.
Yeah, we had a few ups and downs, but most people find it pretty easy. I know you did to get in. So with your background, I understand from Jerry in his interview with us that you're quite a musical family. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yeah. It was around us as kids. At the time, I think I mentioned it.
Yes.
We just thought it was normal situation, and then as you get older, you realize oh, not everybody has music in the family live, and you bring friends over and they go, "What is this?" And it's this life,
Well, I was listening to a video that I posted that had been on YouTube, and you were singing The Air That I Breathe from the Hollies, I believe. Yes. And I was listening to that with my Bose. I have Bose earphones, and oh my gosh, it's just delightful. Truly enjoyed it.
Well, thank you. I was just watching a movie with Reese Witherspoon, and it was in the background. And I go, God, that'd be kind of a fun song to do. So that's how that all came about.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, you've got a couple of them I like, but another one that a lot of people don't hear very often is Girl from Ipanema.
Yeah.
Ipanema, I think. I don't know how they pronounce it, but I love the song, and you do that extremely well. I think I asked you to do it last time.
You did. Yes. And I can't remember how that came about, but when we go on golf trips with the buddies, that's always a must song when we bring the guitar, and it's kind of grown, I guess, with a little bit of popularity, and just kind of fits the Battista brother groove a little mix, So
yeah, it does. Oh, if you were to categorize what you do with your brother when you're playing as the Battista brothers, what kind of music would you say you play? Is there a genre that you would be able to describe it as?
I don't think so, because we cover such a wide variety. I mean, we play stuff from the 20s to maybe early 2000s. I don't know how up to date we are on the newest song we do, but we just cover wide variety. So it can be a bossa nova beat, it can be country, it can be rock and roll, and so we just kind of cover everything.
Yeah, no, I'm looking here and I don't see us on matured musicians. So I'm wondering, do you have, and I didn't mean to interrupt you there, but do you have possible, in the background, do you have matured musicians up?
I don't think so.
I'm not sure.
Do I need to, or I don't need to?
I don't see it coming on here. I know Rose just tuned in. Rose, maybe you can tell us, are you able to see us through Matured Musicians Group? And hi, by the way. Rosie's a fan. She's been out to the Oxford and listened to you and Jerry on a regular basis when you're out there. So at any rate, I'm not sure. can you put that up in the background just in case that we do need that? And I'm going to reboot my phone, and hopefully that'll take care of it. In the meantime, I was reading. You know Libby, right? Libby Mosher, I think her name is.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was saying she didn't know you played the piano. So apparently you have a background in music that she wasn't aware of, which is kind of amazing because I think she knows about as much as you guys as possible. So
Libby's usually in the know.
Yeah.
No, I don't do a whole lot of advertising, and I don't really play a whole lot of piano anymore. I got a little baby grand in the background, what have you. But
Wow.
it was just something I picked up when I started dating my wife back in the early 80s, and I just started playing, probably, I'd say 7 to 10 years, just playing piano. I didn't touch the guitar. And then kind of converted back to the guitar and put the piano aside. So I don't even know if I can even consider myself a piano player, if you want to know the truth.
I know. I haven't touched mine for a long time, and once you stop playing it, you forget a lot.
Exactly.
We have another view here. Yeah, she says she can see and hear us. So apparently, and that is on Matured Musician. Rosie, is that correct? All right. So I don't know why it's not coming across on my phone, but I would like to know how is it that you kids got started? I mean, you in particular, as far as what was your first instrument, and was your inspiration for your music your family, or did you have to go through the classics and all those routines that we have all had to do on the piano when we take it?
There was no we weren't forced by any means to learn how to play an instrument, and nor were there any type of lessons or any of that. It was just all by ear. And as I said earlier, my dad and grandpa would always be playing in the background, and my dad would teach me a few chords, and I'd just go in the bedroom before there was lots of TV and computers and all that kind of stuff, and just learn how to play the chord with ease, and different ways to play the chords in different styles, and that type of thing. And so it was because I wanted to, not because I had to. Or
yeah, okay.
And then later in life, Jerry was at the time, well, he still is 5.5 years older than me, so he was by far quite a bit more advanced just because of the age itself, and plus he takes it to a whole nother level. But as he learned, he would grab me and show me chords, and we'd do 3-chord changes, and he'd work on his solos, and I was his rhythm guy, and I've stayed like that ever since.
Yeah. I came from a musical family as well, and we always gathered whenever the family was a large family, and whenever we got together, my aunt would play the piano. She did it by ear, and we'd all sing, and especially at Christmas time and Christmas carols and so forth. So
sure.
I get it. And back then it was, it wasn't as easy to get the information as it is today. On how to play chords or songs or words and all that good stuff. So it was done primarily by ear.
Yeah, just grabbing the album and setting the needle back a little bit, or rewinding the cassette tape. But it was not easy. But with everything you have now, it's by far a lot easier.
Very different. Yeah. So when you were learning, is there a particular group or groups that you enjoyed more, or is just whatever your family was doing at the time, Jerry?
Me personally, I kind of fell in love with Steely Dan at a pretty young age, and not that it's my style, but I really liked it. Can't Buy a Thrill was one of my favorite albums. And then I fell into, and still to this day, Supertramp is one of my favorites. Santana back in the early days.
Santana, I know Santana, but these other two, I don't really know Steely Dan. Can you give me one of the songs that he was known for?
Can't Buy. Let's see here. Caught Me Off Guard. Boy. drawing a blank. It's
That's
he's
all right.
got several.
I'll look him up.
Listen
I
to
promise.
Can't Buy a Thrill album, 1972. You'll go, oh, I recognize that.
Okay.
But reeling in the years. There we go. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll look it up. I promise. When you were playing with your family and playing with Jerry, was it mostly at family gatherings, or did you guys move out a little bit into the area that you were living, like for instance giving performances at school or whatever?
Jerry and I never did any performances together when we were younger. What we did do is, I'd grab a guitar, he'd grab a guitar, and we'd go into the bedroom, and he'd say, "Here, play these chords or whatever," and we play the same chords for, who knows, an hour, and he'd just work on his licks, and that's kind of how it started. And we kind of had a little. It was kind of natural. I mean, even though we were green at the time, we had that connection, so
Right.
it came fairly easy.
Yeah, when you guys sing, that's an observation for me. When I listen to you guys sing, you're so attuned to each other. I mean, it seems like you're hand in glove, that you're just, it could be because you're brothers and you've been doing this all your life, probably. But there seems to be just, you know where each other is going or whatever. You just have to look or gesture and the other one picks it up. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, very, very much. Yeah, you can just the body English is like, oh, I guess we're going to stay here a little longer and whatever, and
Right.
or
Yeah,
cut it short or whatever the case may be. But yeah, there's definitely that. And
I saw you both at the Looking Glass in Snohomish. You remember that gig?
yeah, that was a great gig, actually.
Yes.
Great room to play music because it's quiet
Yeah.
and the acoustics are nice and they have a good sound system.
All right. And I was watching it there and I thought, wow, it's just amazing. And I think Jerry's kind of the one who's out there more because he has the band, the Davenos, and he the Jerkles, and he has a lot of jams every Tuesday, 6 to 9.
Right.
Jerry. He has a jam, so he's probably more visible.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah. However, I think that your talent is every bit on par with your brother. You probably don't do it as much because you have a full-time job and you tried a different course than he did, rather than making music your number one job.
Right.
But I think you're kind of underplayed a little because listening to your music and listening to you up close and personal, there is an awful lot of talent there, Jeff. Amazing amount.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you. And
and it's obvious, I think, to everybody who sees you guys.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah, it's that's I don't know how my brother does it. Plays 4, 5, 6 days a week, and I mean that's dedication. It's a lot more work than people realize. I think.
Oh, yes.
They see him up there and go, God, that'd be great to do that, but you got to put your smiley face on and set all the gear up and be ready each and every night, and something different can happen every night. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. You just never know, but you just gotta be ready. And
absolutely. And I am a musician of sorts. I'm not as good as you guys are, but I haven't been doing it as long either. And it's, to me, it's practice as often as you can, and it's learning new songs and everything that goes with it. Can be very exhausting, almost overwhelming at times. So I can't imagine ever having made my living like that. So
right.
do you guys play out? I mean, I saw you at the Looking Glass not that long ago, but I don't see a lot of advertisement. That's kind of a musician thing. They don't advertise as much as maybe they should. But I haven't seen anything out there. So are you guys still doing gigs in the area? And are you still together as a
Yeah. Marketing is not the Battista brother strong point by any means, but musician. Yeah, pre-COVID, we were playing probably anywhere from, I would say, 3 to 5 gigs a month. And then during COVID and after COVID, it started off pretty slow, and it's continued to be that way. But with that said, I probably do more private parties with Jerry than the public gigs. But 2024, he's signed me up for a lot of work this year for 2024. So he's going to work my butt off.
Second job, huh?
Yeah.
I had almost fell off my stool when I was there last Tuesday, because he made a comment, just sort of deadpan comment, and he said, "Yeah, my brother has a real job."
It's been this year has been extraordinarily busy. So I know you've been reaching out and trying to get a hold of me, but I was just like,
yeah,
just getting crazy phone call after phone call, and oh well, it's better than being slow.
I do a lot of messenger rather than phone calls. You probably noticed that I wasn't real quick on phone calls, and that's because I worked as customer service, where I took calls all day long, and I don't like talking on the phone anymore. I mean, I did that for so many years that it just.
Well, there's a lot more ways of communication.
Yeah,
I'm still an old phone guy because I like. This seems like you can get to the point a little quicker than you can back and forth with text and instant message and that type of thing. But it's getting harder because a lot of people don't like to communicate that way anymore. Just like you said.
Yeah. Well, old timers and people my age and younger, I say probably about 65 on, a lot of them just don't have the skill to do it. And it's really hard to get them for an interview.
It was pretty easy, actually, but technology in general, it's moving so quick that, it's leaving us old folk behind. There's no doubt about it.
So when you were in your teens, did you accept any kind of, I think you mentioned something about a performance in your bio?
Oh, yeah. It's actually pretty funny. So in grade school, there's the talent show, and I said, I'll sign up for it. And I've always been quiet about me playing music. Just kind of, downstairs, didn't really. So when I performed, it blew the teachers away and the students, right? And they're just all clapping out. I'm like, what the hell just happened? I was totally naive, had no idea, right?
I love it.
So that was my first exposure to playing in front of people and what have you. And of course, I think I can't remember, it was either 5th or 6th grade. I was definitely in the winner's circle at the time, right? And I decided to do a comic act and put the guitar down, and that didn't go over very well. But yeah, so that was my first exposure playing music in front of people, and to be honest, I never was. There's even going through junior high and high school. Some people knew I played, but I never really advertised it.
Hi, that's odd. Not odd, but it just seems that there's so much talent in your family, and so much talent in your the older members of your family. For example, I think Jerry mentions your grandfather played, and your father as well.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
And as you know, we play, I say 3 to 4 or 5 songs, maybe a few more that they played when we were kids, and the Bye Bye Blues, which everybody loves.
Right. Yeah.
And it's timeless.
That is, yeah. I try to pick songs that have been around a while. Right now, they got one out, Johnny Walker ad on TV, and they showed all the time, and they're playing These Boots in the background. It's the background music.
Oh, yeah. Right, yeah.
So
that's one of yours for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
I think you play yours in E, I believe, right?
Who? Pardon?
You play your Boots in E?
I do.
Yeah.
Yes. And your brother happened to know that very not many songs he knows, but that particular song apparently he does with his band. So that's how that got out there as much as it has. So
Yeah.
um, when you think about music, is that like part of your nature because you were around this so much when you were younger, or was or is it something that you drew skills from to do what you're doing today, your line of work?
Can you repeat that question one more time?
Yeah, it was a little confusing, wasn't it? Trick question. You know, how do you view music in as far as all the exposure that you had? Do you have a particular attitude towards the music when you hear it, or when you perform it, or when you see your family perform it, or when you see Jerry perform it? Is there a connection with your background in your family in your early years?
Oh, I think, very much so. Yeah, for sure. Um, I think every little influence from the time you're growing up with the music in the background to the music that you listen to the music that your friends have influenced you with, I think it all plays into it, and the style that you play.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when the COVID came along, how did that affect you? Or did it? Was there anything about that whole lockdown and the fact that music kind of went away except for online? Do you have any thoughts towards that, or did that affect you in any way?
I don't know if it affected me in any way, other than I had a lot more downtime. Yeah, like I said, at that time pre-COVID, we were doing 3 to 5 gigs a month, which is a lot when you're working full time.
Oh,
And so then it went from that to zero. Um, and then, maybe just stay a little disciplined, because I tend to get a little lazy if I don't have anything going on. So the guitars like to sit around and collect dust. So
I get it.
yeah.
That was
So
a frightening time, or did you have confidence that it would finally work itself out, things would get back to normal?
I had confidence it was going to get back to normal, and Jerry and I don't know if you know Jim Bailey. We're
Yes.
almost like
Yeah.
we were like the founders of COVID. We got it at a very, very early stage. I think we were the top 200 or 300 in the whole state to get it. And yeah, I blame Jim Bailey. Thanks, Jim Bailey, if you're listening.
I'd already had it when Jim was making a joke on stage about it, and I didn't um, didn't know what it was. I got it. I had been at the Life Center. Do you ever watch TV about the Life Center and how the uh, elder or senior people were dying there in Kirkland?
Kirkland, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, we had a gig there. I was with a Bothell volunteer band, and we were asked to leave because they said they had the flu there. And so we all left. We didn't take, flu is flu. It happens. And
Right.
then it all blew up, and I was sick up until February, from December all the way through February. And the doctors kept asking me a stupid question like, have you ever been to China, or do you have any contact with people from China? And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Of course, and it all hit later, but yeah, it's not a good time.
Chinatown, Seattle. I went there, but that's it. Yeah.
Exactly. No, there's something. I never really met you before. I think it was right around that period of time, because they had Stewart's just down the road. And Stewart's, every Tuesday night, they had a jam during the time that your brother had his. So I didn't even know. I don't remember seeing you ever come over there. So I didn't even know you existed until right around COVID hit.
A lot of people say that, Joy.
Well, I like your sense of humor. You're a very open person. So it's easy to relate to you when you sing. So moving on from there, you say your brother has at this point in your life that he's got you booked. He's not going to let you off the hook.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's
2004?
he went through the whole calendar was blowing up here a couple of weeks ago. Ta-tink, 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 and I was like, oh, I guess we got gigs, so which is good. Keeps me alive, keeps me fresh, keeps me playing.
Yeah.
Learn
Well,
a few more songs, hopefully for 2024.
what'd you say?
I said add a few new songs to the
Oh, add a few new
2024.
songs. I thought you said write a few new songs, and I thought you write. Do you write songs? Do you write any chants?
I do. I have quite a
didn't know
few,
that.
and majority of them are probably 80% done. Never finished to what the level they should be. And I suppose if I got together with somebody else to push me to finish them, I probably would. But yeah, I got a pretty good list.
Wow, I didn't know that. Well, congrats. Yeah. So, has your brother ever helped you with that as far as putting them together? I mean, he has a lot of talent there.
He don't got time for me.
Yeah.
We dabble them in a little bit, here and there. We do actually play one in our set list, not always, but it's called Strolling Along. It's just an instrumental that I wrote. And
what was it called?
It's called Strolling Along.
Strolling. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of got a little, kind of a rockabilly kind of country vibe to it. I'm sure if we played it, you go, oh yeah, I've heard that before.
I don't know. I haven't really seen you that much over there. And it is put you on.
You might see me tomorrow.
Huh?
You might see me tomorrow.
Oh, good. Okay. I'll be there. And I'll ask for that song. You're not up there.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Yeah. Then you'll go, oh, yeah, I have heard this. But we, open mic, we only play anywhere from 25 minutes to 45 minutes. So we can leave a lot of songs out.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to ask for that one.
Okay. Put Jerry on the spot.
Yeah. Yeah. I just asked him to write the music to one of my songs, and I'll probably get it next year sometime, but it is what it is.
It is what it is.
So do you have a New Year's Eve gig?
Say that one more time.
Are you going out to play on New Year's Eve? Do you have a gig?
I am not. No, I'll probably just be in the comforts of my home.
Oh, yeah.
Make a nice meal and watch a movie.
Yeah.
Stay out of that riffraff driving around at night.
So I was wondering if you could give us a little look into what you have coming up and where it might be in 2024, your gigs with Jury as the Battista Brothers.
Yeah, I mean, off the top of my head, I think it's every third Thursday we'll be at the Oxford.
Oh.
Every month.
Oh, cool.
And then we've got, let me see if I can pull it up real quick. We play this great little place called Bits. Have you been there?
No, I saw it, and I didn't know if when I put it on your information on Facebook and Matured Musicians, but I didn't know if it was up to date and current. But I did see the name Bits.
Yeah, and it's I think we got 2 or 3 gigs there this next year. It's a great little place.
Where's it at?
Huh?
Where's it at?
It's in Mukilteo, just past the golf course. For those of you who golf, Harbor Point Golf Course off of Harbor Point Boulevard.
Okay.
I don't know the exact address, but it's just a tiny little place. But it's like playing in your basement with friends and family. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, the best kind. Right.
Yeah. I wasn't sure when we first played, like, wow, we're going to play in here. There's hardly any room. I mean, the room itself, like 20 foot by 20 foot, maybe.
Oh my gosh.
But it's great. Great place to play. Recommend it.
I have to try that at least once in 2024. I don't get around to as many places. There are so many people and so many places that want us to be there, but there's only one of me, and I can't clone myself.
Right. Well, we all get busy.
Absolutely. So when you're, what are you thinking, or how are you feeling when you're facing a crowd and you're playing and they're really into you and enjoying your music, is what are you experiencing at the that's a hard question, I know. But
Yeah.
can you give me a feeling for what it is, the vibe that you're absorbing and how you feel about that?
Yeah, I don't think there's a better feeling once you grab the audience and they're listening and they want more. And there's just so much that because there's some nights where it doesn't quite work that way, but but when you do, you hope you grab the next song works, and it just keeps rolling. And when that happens, I can't describe it. It's a great feeling. Time goes by much quicker that way.
Yes, absolutely.
But it's nice. I know it when those nights happen. The chemistry is there on stage. The timing's there. The sound's right. I mean, all of it. And sometimes you can start off even a little rough, and then all of a sudden it kicks in, and you grab the audience, and it's just it's a great feeling.
Absolutely. I had something I was going to say about that, but then my mind just went blank. Doggone it. Oh, when you I don't know when your first performance was. I guess we should start there. When did you first perform out in public?
Oh,
And
well,
what was the okay, other than your contest in grade school?
well, I don't think I really did till with Jerry. I mean, I've done several weddings with my wife's sister who sang. I don't know if we can even call that it is performing, but on a consistent basis, it was 10, 12 years ago. Our kids are now 30 and 28.
Oh my gosh.
So they were probably 16-ish. My Jerry says, "Why don't you come out and start playing with me?" And it's like, okay. I was reluctant. And then I said, "Well, when are we going to learn these songs?" And he handed me a sheet of 20, 30 songs or so. And he says, "We got a gig in 2 weeks." And so I did the best I could. But it was a small little place called Mr. Vias, no longer there, in Lake City, a Mexican restaurant. I was scared to death.
Yeah, welcome to my world.
And did I mess up? Oh yeah, but you kind of quickly get through that and get over that, and there's always a little bit jitterbugs here and there, but for the most part, it's I've done it enough now where you feel pretty comfortable. But there are certain gigs, depending on who's out there or what have you. And for whatever reason, I'm more comfortable around strangers than I am when I got friends and family around. And I'm not sure why.
Yeah. Well, that's I think maybe the intimacy, the level of intimacy. There's probably fewer barriers between your emotions with your family than it is with a stranger that you haven't established that intimacy yet.
Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah, maybe I feel like that too. I get it. If people know me, especially people that I look up to, or people that I've worked with or whatever. Yeah, I feel that a lot. It's just harder. It's harder.
Yeah. There's other musicians out there that, they're watching you or whatever. Sometimes they're like, you feel like you're being critiqued maybe a little bit. But,
I think so. I think that's
just human nature, I suppose.
So when you think about this thing of performing today, have you ever thought of doing it full time like your brother? Has that ever crossed your mind?
No.
Well, that was quick. Hold out there.
I suppose if I was retired and didn't work, maybe, but like I said, it's a lot more work than people realize. The people like my brother and Freddie and all those guys out there, to do it full time is impressive. It's just.
I hear you. Yeah, and Fred is like he has this thing in his head that you just pull out a song. It doesn't matter what song. It's somewhere. It's all in there. It's just he's
Yeah,
no
yeah, he's just it's amazing.
card catalog of songs. Just boom, 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 and they
Yeah,
come up.
yeah.
So I do have a few people that Rose was telling me that we are being seen, which is good. I did find it. And I've got Rodney Leonard here from the Hot Rodsters. He likes to check in every now and then. He's saying hi. And
Hello.
have you heard Randy yet? He played out at the Oxford. Have you heard the Hot Rodster band yet?
I do not believe I have.
Uh, he does a lot of tributes to Charlie Daniels. He's a fiddle player.
Okay.
Yeah, on my birthday, I went there and I got a bow from I was playing I was singing Neon Moon with his band on my birthday, and he gave me the fiddle bow.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was cool. I got it hanging on my wall.
Not a drumstick, but a fiddle bow.
Yeah. So going back to what I was asking you, obviously you've not thought of doing this full time. But have you had any plans in the future? Like, for instance, I have no clue. You said you're 5.5 years younger than your brother, and I happen to know your brother's age. So when you do retire, have you thought about doing this full time with him?
Yeah, like I said, I like the model I currently have, playing 2 or 3 times a month, and
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's possible, but yeah, what is retirement, right?
Yeah.
Is it quitting your job and playing music full time? I don't know.
I don't know. But that's what happened to me. I worked until I was 75, and then I started to get back into music. I had a little reprieve for about 4 or 5 years. I was down for the count. And then I went back to it, and I found that, physically, it's really a strain on me. I mean, you always see me sitting because,
Yeah.
The things that I've done throughout my life. And, when I had my own band for 15 years, and it was, we played 3-4 nights a week, and it was
Right.
a drain. And then my body started to break down, but still have my fingers. I still could play guitar, still could sing, thank God.
The little things, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I look at it this way, that we have a gift. Singers and players, musicians, all of us have a gift, and I've listened to yours, and I would like to think that you're going to do more of it. That's just
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah. Who knows? Who knows what the future will bring? But I'm not committing to nothing.
Just in case somebody's watching, right?
Right.
Was there ever a moment when you were on stage where you said, "Oh my gosh, I like this," or was it more of a challenge, or how did that impact on you?
Well, I think at the beginning, you're scared to death, and you just want to get through the night. And just like, oh my God, I don't want to make a mistake. And when we first, or at least for me, you just feel like everybody's watching you. So closely.
They are.
Yeah. Well, yes and no, right? And so then once you get comfortable and you learn the songs where you're not even thinking about it, because the minute you start thinking, that's when you start making a mistake. But once you get through that, you realize that there are some people watching intently, but majority of them, they're drinking a beer, talking, and what have you, and so. I don't know. It's just a progress, I think, right?
Yeah. I always, I usually ask people that question about, when was the first time that you had that aha moment where you knew that this is what you wanted to do. This is part of you that you wanted to share with other people. Did you ever have one of those aha moments, or did it come so natural?
That's a good question. I don't know if there's anything that really pops out to me. There were moments. I guess like in high school when we'd have parties and there'd be guitar there and I'd play it, and just the response I would get was like, dude, why don't you do this more often? Blah. And I was super quiet, maybe shy about it all, and never really advertised it. And so I kind of knew there was something there, and the response was that I received at the time was maybe that.
Eye-opening.
Yeah. And then as Jerry and I started playing, picking particular songs that people respond to, was maybe an aha moment.
Yeah, I get it. So when did the Battista brothers actually start? And is that the only group that you play with and sing with?
Again, I don't really remember, but I want to say it was 10 or 12 years ago.
Yeah, that's really recent.
Yeah. Well, it feels like 3 years ago, but I suppose if I looked at some photos and looked it up, I could probably figure out exactly when, but it's somewhere in there.
Did you see the photo that I posted? I think I posted it off. I went to Facebook and there were pictures there or something. And it was, they're like 4 or 5 kids that looked like boys with guitars. There was one boy there that looked like Jerry and one that looked like you. And I'm assuming that was you guys when you were younger.
I did not see the photo, but it sounds like it might have been all of his siblings.
Yeah.
Was a picture taken in the 70s, maybe?
All the siblings. How many siblings are we talking here?
Well, I got 2 brothers and 3 sisters.
Ah.
We are the Brady Bunch.
Oh, his sisters sing and play?
Everybody at one time played an instrument growing up. But my sisters kind of gave it up. And so really the only people who play are the brothers.
Yeah.
Jerry and I, and then my brother Mike plays as well.
I've never met Mike. I wouldn't know. I probably wouldn't know him if I saw him. Is he in this area? Does he come out here?
He is. He's Mill Creek.
Really?
We tried to make him a Battista brother at one time, but he declined. So he's out of the band.
Yeah. Wow. So you have quite the family there. I get some comments here. I got a Brian Harris. I had him in an interview last week, Monday. And he is from Langley, British Columbia, Canada. And he is a musician and he plays in that area. And he made a comment. He said, those aha moments can spark a great run of music.
Yeah.
So he put his 2 cents. So hi, Brian. I'm glad you're there.
Hey, Brian.
And he also offered touring musicians who might be up in that area from the United States to come stay. He's got a ranch out there and he's got bunkhouse and facilities. So if you ever need a place to stay, he offered that to us people down here in the 48. So thinking about where you're going from here, you've been together with your brother for 12 years. How many years do you think it took, or months, or however long it was, since you don't play every single, every week, like Jerry does several times a week? How long do you think it took for you to learn all of the music that you do with him? Was it gradual? Was it all at once? I know you said the first 20 songs at the beginning of it.
Yeah, it may have been more songs. That's a good question. I bet you, I don't really know, but I would say probably up to a year to get way up there with close to 100 songs or in that time frame, I suppose. As you start playing, you play your staple songs, and then pretty soon you start adding stuff. He'll say, "Hey, let's do this." So I'll learn my part, and he's got his part, and because of the time, what have you, a lot of it's just rehearsed on stage.
Yeah.
Sometimes it sounds really good the first time, and other times maybe not so much. And
Right.
but yeah, it's just a progress, and it it gets easier. You figure the formula out a little bit, strengths and weaknesses, and um,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. So we're getting down to the last 15 minutes, and I know that you didn't have your schedule. I don't think you have your schedule. And I was trying to draw out of you where we might be able to find it. Are they are they posted on a website somewhere, or how can people find you? How can they find your schedule and when you're going to be playing?
Well, there comes our weak point.
Yeah.
Jerry's doing better at it, but what I need to do is do a better job of posting a week or two prior to us playing rather than the day of. So I got my own Facebook account, and then we also have the Battista brother Facebook account.
Oh, you do? I'm going to have to look for that. I didn't see that.
You better talk to Libby.
Okay, I will. I asked her for a few pictures and some video, and she didn't seem to have any right on hand. So,
Right.
yeah.
But no, we're not very good at it, Joy. I'm not going to lie. And we need to, because we owe it to the fans, and we owe it to the establishments we play at, right? So they want us there to increase their business, in theory. So
Right. Well, that's one of
I
the
personally need to do a better job at that.
That's one of the reasons why I have this program. I make no money at it. In fact, it goes out faster than it comes in.
Right.
It doesn't actually come in. But I noticed when I started that a lot of musicians don't advertise, or they're not even online. I have no social media presence. And
Right.
I thought, and also I found out that a lot of the people who listen to the musicians in this area aren't aware of their background. They're not aware of how long they've been playing, or little things like when they started, what instruments they're capable of playing. Libby didn't know you played the piano. I mean, so
Right.
this is a good forum for people to get their music out there, promote their music, promote their gigs, get people more familiar with them and their talent and their musical ability. That's hardly the thing you're going to stand around talking to with your fans, talking to them and saying, yeah, I've been doing this, yada, yada, yada. It's not consistently going to happen at a gig.
Right.
So hopefully that'll help a little bit too. A lot of people aren't on here right now because they work. Musicians are notoriously in need of a job to supplement their income in these days. So
that job thing gets in the way, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And I did this for, like I said, 15 years, 3 to 4 nights a week, and I worked a full-time job. My husband worked a full-time job, and boy, it can get to be too much easily.
Yeah, and with technology, you can't escape it anymore. It's on your phone.
Yeah.
It's I work from home, and I'll find myself
Tell you
working
the truth. Tell you the truth. I had a band for 2000 to 2015, and all I knew is how to use the phone. I knew nothing about social media.
Yeah.
So I took a job with Google, and they trained me to help other people with their phones and how to use them, and when they broke down and so forth. Basically, we were techs, and that's how I learned it all. I didn't know it until 2012.
Well, there you go. That's why you're so savvy at it now.
Well, I don't know how savvy I am, but I try. So with that in mind, I thought, well, this is a good opportunity. So when I get to this point in our conversation, I like to ask why you like, excuse me, why you like to share, if you have anything to share, and I'm sure you do, about the business and your place in it, and as advice to people who are listening who may just be starting out. I mean, obviously, you've been doing this all your life, but out at gigging, it's been 12 years with the Battista brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Lessons learned.
I don't know if I have a whole lot to share other than just, go out there and enjoy yourself. Really, I mean, be yourself, enjoy yourself, and play the music you want to, not music you think other people want to hear, and don't go in it thinking it's for the money.
Yeah, exactly. You're never going to get rich.
Yeah. Well, some people do, but
yeah, but they're far and few between these days, unfortunately. And
yeah, it's a little harder, but yeah, just enjoy yourself.
Right.
Try not to get too nervous and let it go.
That's good advice, Jeff. Really, it is. When it sounds to me like this music thing really didn't come about on a professional level until your children were grown. Is that correct?
Yeah. I mean, I always played, but like I said, it was grab my guitar in this room here that I'm in. I would play a lot.
Let's see those guitars. Do you mind sharing them?
No, I don't know. There's a few of them.
There's the wall. Look at that. I thought I had a lot of 5 or 7.
There's a few others laying around, but what was I saying? I forgot. See what happened? Yeah. So there was a lot of times of playing with in the basement. Buddies come over, that type of thing, parties, but that was about it. It was just a good little pastime.
So for you, it's a hobby?
I would have to say, yeah, I would consider it a hobby for me. Yes, for sure.
Great hobby, Jeff.
Yeah, and I only got a couple, and that's music and golf is also one of my favorite pastimes.
I saw that in there. I said, this guy's a golfer.
Well, I don't know if you can call me a golfer, but I enjoy it. Yeah.
Good exercise, actually.
Yeah.
And both hobbies. The one exercises your mind and your body, and every part of your being. That's music. And the second definitely does pretty much the same thing, only with the stick and a ball.
Now that can be a frustrating sport, let me tell you.
I did that a long time ago. When I was younger, I used to golf, and I had children at home, and just too much to do. Just laundry in itself took up all my time.
Well, it's a full day if you decide to play. By the time you drive there and play 4 hours, and yeah, it's a 6, 7, 8 hour day. So
right. So the next gig, I'm still going to pull this out of you somehow. When is your next gig, and what time it is? What time is it, and where is it? Do you know?
Oh, joy, do we know? Yes. It's ironic you say that, but my next gig will be December 28th, which is my birthday.
Oh, happy birthday!
I'll be turning the magic 60. I'm okay with sharing my age. But,
you're a young one.
Yeah, young one. So yeah, it's in between holidays. I know people get burned out, but come on down to the Oxford. That'll be I think that's it.
Is that the first Thursday? Is that the first Thursday you're going to play on your regular Thursday?
That will be. I'm pretty sure that's a Thursday. Yeah, that's a Thursday from 6 to 9. 6
to 9.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to have to try to get out to that. I got to put that in my phone so I know. I just went to a birthday yesterday. I had a jam in Duval. Lynn, do you know Lynn Sorensen? I know he plays at the Oxford.
Boy, the name sounds real familiar, but
he's a fiddle player, and he used to, for a while, I don't know how many years it was, he was touring with Bad Company as their bassist.
Oh wow!
And he plays with Manuel Moraes. I'm never going to say his name. Sorry, Manuel. And they play at the Oxford quite frequently on the weekends, every now and then. Okay. And so he turned, I'm not going to tell you his age, but he was
He's
70.
older than me, isn't he?
Yeah. I posted some pictures of it. It's kind of fun. So what is your first gig? Now you're going to do it again. What is your first gig in 2024?
Now I have to look at the calendar. So let me look at the calendar there, Joy.
I finally got you to do it.
It will be Under Pressure. We got the 25th of January, it looks like. At the Oxford, 6 to 9. Like I said, we're going to be there I may have lied. That might be every fourth Thursday. We'll see. So because that is the fourth Thursday of January. So yeah, January 25th.
Okay. You heard it here first. January 25th and December 28th at the Oxford.
There you go. And then, or maybe it's like the last Thursday, or maybe that's it. I don't know. But it's all over the board. I think Jerry gigged like February is only a couple weeks after January, but then after that, I think it gets on a regular schedule of every third or fourth Thursday. Okay. Don't hold me to it, but something along those lines.
Got any more for bits?
We do. Now you're really gonna make me look. I wish they'd stand out. All they are is dots. Can I get back to you on that one?
Yeah.
I think we had something in March and April, if I recall. Okay. Let's see, bits are Wednesdays. Oh, I got lucky here. We got one for sure on April 24th, 6 to 9 at Bits. And we got a few others in there, but
I'll have to probably bug you again when it gets closer to that time to get the exact date and where it's at. The Oxford I can remember because Larry always advertises that as well. So
right.
Last question before you go. The worst and the best time that you ever had at a gig?
Oh boy. That's I don't know. I've had them. Believe me. I suppose I won't say the country club, but we do a lot of country club work, and they could care less. And so it was just an aggravating 3 hours of terribleness.
Oh, no.
I think Jerry would probably vouch for it too, but there is no connection whatsoever.
Huh.
The best? I don't know. Yeah, I've had a few good outings, and so I don't know. I don't know if I can.
What would go into answering what the best is? What in your opinion would make the best gig? Make that one time gig that just said, wow, everything was working, everything was together, people were enjoying it. Is that what you would consider a best experience?
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple times that when we used to play at Emery's, it just had a great crowd. They're all in tune with what we were playing, and there were some recordings done on it, and it sounded good, and you can tell everybody was really digging it. I couldn't tell you what year it was or any of that, but that was kind of a special moment.
Right. That's kind of the hook.
Everything was there. So
that's a hook. That's a hook that makes you continue as a musician, correct?
That's correct.
All right. Well, we're almost out of time. We're at 59 minutes and 15 seconds, Jeff.
Well, that went quick.
Yeah, it does.
I should have picked a cocktail. What was I thinking?
So I hope to see you on Tuesday. I want to hear that song. And I do want to thank you very much for being with us today.
Thanks, Ray.
And I hope that we'll be able to see some more of your performances between Christmas and New Year's on the 28th.
That'd be great. That'd
At
be
the
awesome.
Oxford, folks.
Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. So I carry on with your rest of the day. It was a great time. Thank you again. And
Okay.
so I'll see you on Tuesday, Jeff.
Sounds good.
All right.
See you, Jeff.
Have a good day. Bye-bye. Well, that does it for us. Next week, I have a new person that I've never had before. And his name is, I believe, Eric. I need to find out more about him. He does work at the Dusty Strings in Seattle. He gives, I don't know if he gives classes, but I know he gives workshops there. So stay tuned for that. There'll be some advertising this week regarding that. Just a heads up and a reminder that there will be no show on Monday, the 25th. That's Christmas Day, and Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays and Hanukkah and all the other things that might go in there that I don't know about. And Happy New Year's. And there'll be nothing on New Year's unless somebody says, look, I can't do this any other day because I work. So that would be the only exception. But at this time, the first of New Year's is not on my agenda to do anything. I want to thank all of the people who have listened today, who have supported this program, Matured Musicians. Listen to our interviewees, and thank you again, and I'll see you down the road. That's it for me. Bye-bye, guys.